Welcome to level 1 of wrist strengthening after stroke. This is going to be best for survivors who have at least a little bit of movement, but may not be able to get full range of motion. If you hardly have any movement at all, I recommend you check out my mirror therapy exercise video. You're not going to need any equipment for this workout, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with our first exercise, which is gravity eliminated wrist flexion. Let's get into position, pinky side down, thumb up. You can support your forearm with your other arm if you wish. And all you're gonna try to do is bend that wrist forward very gently and then bring it back to center or neutral. Now, why gravity eliminated? This is great for people who have just a little bit of movement but may not have that full range of motion, because we're not fighting against gravity. Gravity is putting some level of resistance when we exercise, but instead of, say, for example, moving this way, which will be in my level 2 video, we're sort of limiting gravity's effect by moving in this plane of movement. Go ahead and take a rest break. We're doing 45 seconds for each exercise and then a 10-second rest break in between each exercise, just to give you a chance to catch your breath. Okay. Exercise number 2, gravity eliminated wrist extension. You're staying in the same position. You can, again, support if you need to with your other arm. And all you're gonna do is bring the wrist back as far as you can. Now, those fingers may stay curled up or they may curl worse when you try to bend your wrist back. Totally fine. That's actually to be expected. If you're able to try and move those fingers out, go for it. But if they stay curled up, just keep trying. You're gonna try to do as many repetitions as you can in the 45 seconds. Although, of course, as with all of my exercises, no pushing through pain or discomfort. Take a break here before we move into our third exercise. So take a deep breath if you need it. And we're on to our third exercise before we start the sets again. So you're going to put your hand as flat as you can get it. You may need to help with your other hand. We're doing wrist, what's called ulnar and radial deviation. And those are just big fancy words for moving your wrist from side to side. So towards your thumb side, towards your pinky side. I've just got my hand flat on a surface. And this is so, again, we've got a little extra support here. We're not trying to move too much against gravity. We're trying to limit that involvement, again, by giving that support through a table or a bed or a couch or whatever you have your hand on. Just moving back and forth for that 45 seconds. Go ahead and take a rest here. And after this rest break, we're going back through it all again. So, let's get back into the first exercise, gravity eliminated wrist flexion. Hand is here, bending wrist forward. Very nice. So let's keep that going, bending the wrist forward. You're doing a great job. We have about 20 seconds left. All right, 5 seconds, you got this. All right, go ahead and take a rest break here. Take a deep breath, grab a sip of water. After this, we're going into wrist extension. Let's go ahead and get back into position. Support if you need it. You can also roll up a towel and put underneath your forearm if that's easier as well. Again, for wrist extension, we're bending the wrist backwards as far as you can. You may not get as much movement as I am, and that's perfectly fine. You just want to start where you are. Let's go ahead and keep bending that back. We've got 20 seconds left. Great job, 5 more seconds. Don't give up on me now. All right, go ahead and stop. Take a rest break. Very nice. we're getting into our third exercise, and then we'll have one more set of each of the exercises. So go ahead for this last one. I want your hand to be as flat as you can get it on a surface. If your fingers want to stay curled up, that's okay. You can still do this exercise like this. If it's easier to support under your forearm and bring your wrist from side to side, that's fine. Otherwise, if you want to just get it flat and try to move against the table or the surface, that's fine too. If you find that your hand is sticking, a little too much friction, you can try putting a washcloth underneath just to reduce some of that friction and allow for easier movement. We've got 10 seconds, keep it going. All right, go ahead and take a break. We've got one more set to do, so stay with me. Let's go back to the first exercise, our gravity eliminated wrist flexion. So here again, we're bending the wrist forward and then coming back to neutral. We've got 35 more seconds. Doing great. Don't stop now, 15 more seconds. Just remember, no pushing through pain or discomfort. And if you have any questions about these exercises, make sure that you always reach out to your doctor or therapist before starting a new exercise routine. All right, go ahead and take a break. After this, we're getting back into wrist extension in the gravity eliminated position, taking gravity sort of out of the equation. All right, again, support under the forearm, bending the wrist back as far as you can get it. And remember, it's okay if those fingers stay curled up. Let's keep going for the next 32 seconds. Doing fantastic, 15 more seconds. Don't stop now, only one more to go after this, and then you will be done. Take a rest break, and then we've got our last exercise, the wrist ulnar and radial deviation, which is where we're moving the wrist from side to side. So hand is either flat, or you can have it supported, arm is supported under the forearm, and you're moving wrist from side to side, back and forth. Keep it going, we've got about 32 more seconds. Almost there. About 7 seconds left. This is the last one. Don't quit on me. All right. Take a break. Take a rest. You finished it. Wonderful job. You should be so proud of yourself. As always, thank you so much for joining me for today's workout. And again, make sure that you check out the video on mirror therapy if this was maybe a little too challenging for you. And if you need more of a challenge, make sure you hit the bell to get notified when my level 2 wrist strengthening workout comes out. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Post-Stroke is a nonprofit, and you can help us continue to provide our content for free, either by giving us a super thanks by clicking in the YouTube bar below, by donating once via PayPal, or by becoming a Patreon member, where in exchange for a monthly donation, you get access to cool perks, including YouTube shoutouts, of which you can see here. We love our patrons. You all are the best. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.